Hello, my name is Tamika Carter. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Resided from Riverdale, Illinois before I left to come to Indiana. When I quit my job, it was more money for transportation than it was actually being on the job. So it kind of was too much to work at a job that you was basically not making enough for bills and to make rent and everything meet with your paycheck. So instead of doing that, I had to quit because it was really no point of me being there.
So you ended up being evicted?
Yeah, we were evicted because we weren't paying the rent and stuff because we didn't have the money to, really. Yeah, this is the first time for me that I ever been homeless out of my 28 years of being in this world. That was the biggest struggle for my 6 and my 2-year-old. Yes, that happened one day, going to lunch, and they were talking about the job. They was like, we having a job event, for St. Margaret's House, and y'all can put in applications or whatever for this job. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I can do that because I didn't have a job at the time, so I needed something, And I filled out the application. It was so ironic that the day that they had the interview, it was basically like y'all hired. I was like, oh my God, I came so prepared. I was like, I work for my best friend's services, and the owner is Jackie, and for this job we clean up rooms and we clean up different areas of construction that, that they need basically fixed up and cleaned up, and that's what our services provide. It provide a clean environment. Basically, I worked here every day. I was on time, made sure that, I did what I was told and try to not to fuss at anyone or anything like that. And then I'll say about 4 or 5 months later, they brought up the position for a supervisor at my best friend. I'm like, wow. I was so shocked to the point that I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, okay. And I mean, that was a big thing for me because I always wanted to be a supervisor, but no one ever gave me a chance. And I feel like I worked so hard, as an employee, and then to keep getting let down and getting told that you're not worth it, and for Jackie to see in me that I'm worth something, that was everything to me, because that she actually saw my potential, and what I felt like I was showing everybody else, she actually saw that, and that was the greatest experience of my life.
When Jackie Elliott came to St. Margaret's House, she said, I want to change women's lives. I want to give a good day's pay for a good day's work, and I want your women to be those women. We were so excited because we knew we had lots of women who could work, but just didn't have a chance. Women who had felonies in their backgrounds, maybe women who just haven't worked in a long time, women who are unemployed or underemployed for quite some time because of things that happened way back in their past. And these ladies who maybe had been on drugs or had a felony, they're off drugs. They're leading great lives. They had made the huge changes, but they couldn't get a job. And Jackie came and gave them that chance.
I've always been somebody that thought that it was important to empower women. I was a 15-year-old single mom, and I could have been any one of those women. And when this job came out, I had two choices. I could hand tons of money over to taxes, or I could find a way to help people. And it was pretty much getting my cake and eating it too, because I'm able to help women and I'm not paying extra taxes. And I have an amazing workforce, an amazing untapped workforce that has been grateful for the job, have showed up and done an amazing job every day. And it hasn't been without its challenges on both sides, but I needed to find people who were willing to work and who would come to work every day and be there for the whole project. And this has just been wonderful. When I was a kid, we used to play a game, what would your cape say? If you wore a cape, what would your cape say? My cape would say facilitator. I'm a facilitator. I will facilitate until I can't facilitate anymore. And that's, I think, what this project happened to be. It turned out, we had a problem with transportation, so we rented a van, and we brought people in for the first week. Then we still had problems with transportation, so we got them bus passes. St. Margaret's was amazing with doing the catered lunches every day for 3 weeks until they got their first paychecks. And, there were other issues along the way that we were able to deal with, and it's coalesced into something that's pretty tight right now, which is really very rewarding.
Has this experience changed you at all, and if so, how?
It has changed me. I feel such empathy and compassion for these women. And some of the stories tear my heart out. It's changed the way I look at people. It's changed the way I react. It's made me feel like I am in a unique position to be an advocate. I didn't have that before.